Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the graphic designer known as Marcio Buto, and in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the elements of surrealism. We're also going to explore symbolism of a multivariate nature, so let's just jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, you're likely going to be a little confused here. There's a lot of energy going on across many variant aspects of this work. One of the first things I see is that this work is split with a horizontal axis. On one side is the above, and on the underside, of course, is the below. Within this work, of course, that mirrors that and translates any energy that comes from the elements on either side. Of course, you're also going to notice the colors within this work, right? That's the first thing that I notice personally. Red and green are going to be the two main bases here. Of course, you have black and white, but the two real true colors here are going to be red and green. This creates what we call a complementary color scheme. That means that they are directly across from one another on the color wheel, and of course, due to that nature, they're going to be clashing and fighting for the viewer's attention. Red already is a very high attention color, so whenever you pair that with something like green, they're going to be clashing even more. That certainly creates even more energy present within the work at hand. You may also notice, of course, these various waves, kind of like topography, if you will, or even sound waves as well. These really give this work a sense of rhythm, a sense of motion, and even more energy, right? So far we have energy present from the saturation of color, we have energy present from rhythm, and we have energy present from form. There's clearly a lot going on within this composition. With this in mind, I gotta ask you guys, how do y'all feel when you view this work? The title of this work as NINHO certainly doesn't really give any symbolism. I certainly looked all over to try and see what the meaning of this work could be, but at the end of the day, I'm just drawing a blank. So if y'all know what that title means, certainly leave a comment down below. I really want to know what this work is truly about. And so the setting of this scene is obviously quite surreal, right? What do I mean when I say surreal? When I say surreal, it is greater than real, or something that it is beyond real, or even impossible in a way. Of course, you look at the literal composition, the setting is made up in space, it seems like, those various stars, and then we have the ground as a strange energy, kind of a topography, if you will. It's hard to say exactly where we are, but this certainly feels very otherworldly, like a dream, very psychedelic as well. There's a lot of things you can mention when you're talking about the setting of this scene, but when I look at these waves, it reminds me of sound, and so perhaps this lone subject, of course, that very small subject, not the bird, the very small subject in the astronaut suit, is kind of exploring this vast landscape that is beyond the regular world of physical reality. Like I said, it's hard to say exactly where we are, what's happening. We can only point to the, exact things that we can actually recognize and even try and connect to some symbolism. So, like I said, we have that lone subject who appears to be wearing an astronaut suit of some kind or another. So this could be in space or any type of, unforgiving and harsh landscape. This subject does remind me of the explorer, but the most dominant subject in this composition has to be that bird, right? That red on black contrast certainly makes it impossible to miss. You're just not going to miss the figure's form here. And so we see this subject wearing this astronaut suit in, say, a harsh landscape or a surreal scene here, and he's approaching this massive red bird. I don't know exactly what type of bird it is, but just the color alone draws my eye time and time again. The bird, of course, is a symbol of, the realm of the gods, flying high into the sky. They are, multivariate in that nature. There's a lot of symbolism that is attached to wings in and of themselves. But like I said, it's hard to say exactly what's happening. The symbolism that I draw from this work at the end of the day, of course, this is subjective, is this lone subject is exploring some type of new space, whether that's a new frontier of, knowledge, a new frontier of the literal. Maybe this is a simulation of some kind or another. Like I said, it's hard to say exactly what's happening, but I get themes of the explorer, I get themes of the surreal, and even some themes of the divine as well. And I forgot to mention, but those three dots are also giving some rhythm as well. So this work is just packed with so much energy, from, saturation to form. There's just so much going on within this work. I think that's incredibly important. But of course, we see this work, perhaps if it is about traveling and exploring, this could be the great unknown. And of course, you're going to encounter many strange things on your journey through the great unknown. Really hope you'll enjoy today. The work before us is a mixed media piece, so you have something like a photograph. That bird is quite clearly realistic. You combine that with, digital edits of various different kinds. You get a brilliantly unique work as we see today. The original artist has some similar pieces that do read reminiscent of the original work today. I'm going to bring that in real quick and see what we can learn here. Alright, so I went ahead and got an additional work from Marcio Buto, once again the graphic designer who created the original work that we're studying today. In both these instances, you do see the bird and you do see the red and the green. I find that quite interesting. Perhaps this artist is pretty fond of those two colors of red and green. It's hard to say for sure, but we have the birds in both instances. We have those two colors as red and green. We have a sense of rhythm, a lot of layers to both works as well. Of course, I wanted to bring this in to really compare to the original work today. Marcio Buto has a diverse range in his portfolio, everything from different mixed medias all the way to different symbolism. There's a lot that this artist has to offer. So once again, just wanted to bring this piece real quick to really compare to the original work that we're studying today. But that's really all I have for today. I really hope you'll enjoyed. We talked about so many different things, from the impact of rhythm, the impact of color. We talked about the impact of this, kind of mirrored landscape. We talked about the possible symbolism of the scene. Once again, always just speculating on what we might be seeing. This reminds me of The Great Unknown, where you go to explore, and of course, that is going to be surreal. You're going to see things that you've never seen or experienced or even considered before. Absolutely brilliant piece. Once again, really hope you'll enjoy today. If y'all did enjoy it, go check out the original artist Marcio Buto. I'm sure he would love a lot of support on his art. Once again, a brilliant graphic designer making some really great art. I absolutely love to study it. Truly was a blast. Once again, really hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, go check out the original artist Marcio Buto. My name's Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.